Okay, gang. Merry Christmas to everybody for tomorrow, and hope everybody's doing well on this December 24th on Christmas Eve. Um, and I hope everybody's doing well and staying warm. We're supposed to get more snow tomorrow. We have a little snow left from the storm we had the other day. So, hope everybody's doing well out there. And I'd like to say hello to everybody that's in the chat so far. We got Jim Tedesco in here, and we got JD, Grandpa Rails, and we got Dwight from Crowley Express. Hey, Dwight, and hey, JD. And then we got a new person here that I've never seen before, Cubber. Welcome. Thanks for stopping in. And then Darren Faulkner is here. He's over in the UK, so it's late over there already. But thanks for stopping in, Darren. Appreciate it. And you, the first time I've seen you in here too. So a couple of newbies in here tonight, and I got somebody in the basement. I'll bring him up in a few minutes here after we get all the announcements done. And we've got 80s in the next 4 days. Yeah, lucky you, JD. I haven't seen 80s in about, last time it was 80 here was in September, maybe? Yeah, I think it was September was the last time we had 80s. So that's the way it is around here. Winter comes early in New Jersey. It always has. So it's 63 in Sebring. Yeah, that's not too bad down there. So I think I got everybody in the chat so far. So I'm going to bring up my guests now.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, Jim. How you doing?
Pretty good, Tom. Merry Christmas to you, man.
Yeah, same to you. And everybody else in the chat and everything. And it's been a hellacious week here. The U.S. Post Office sucks again. And they sent me a couple of things. And every time I ship things out, they get there early. Like I sent stuff to Rick Rollman and to David Knight. I sent them the mini-me's. And Rick Rollman, I sent him some dwarf signals that I made for him. And they were supposed to be there on the 29th of December, but they both got delivered today. So anything going out, boom. Now, I have a package coming from eBay that came from the state of Washington, and it made it to Kearney, New Jersey on today's Wednesday, on Monday. It said it arrived in Kearney, but it did go to Phillipsburg first. So it came here to the distribution center down the road from me. And there's Rick Roman. Hey, Rick, how you doing? Welcome. Merry Christmas to you. So it went to Kearney. It ended up in Kearney. And I said, great, I'll have it on Tuesday. And Tuesday came around. They didn't ship it out. So I said, okay, it's going to come today. And it even said delivery for today, the 24th. They never sent it out from Kearney. And I don't know what the hell's going on. So I had another package coming from, no, that wasn't coming from Oregon. That one was coming from Michigan, I think, the eBay order. I have another eBay order coming from Oregon. That made it into Kearney today, and it changed the date from Monday, or Tuesday, it was supposed to be here the 30th, to Friday. So Friday, I'll have that eBay order. And the other order is something that I wanted to have today. So it's part of my project here to get the tracks cleaned. And I couldn't get that in. So it's stuck in. Hey, Russ, welcome. And Joe Rader's here. Hey, Joe, welcome. So I just said, so the one that was supposed to be here today, which could have been here on Tuesday, it should have been, and it had a scheduled date of tomorrow, which was today, and it still says it's out today, but it's not going to get here today. They never do this, so what can you do? So it'll be here Friday probably with the rest of the stuff. And then an Amazon order got shipped out. That's coming from China. There's some more of those motors for my pumps, and those are working really well at slow speeds now. I just got a couple more pumps that are going a little faster than I like. So the other two that I have are almost like you look at them, you don't even know if they're moving or not, but then they finally go, and it's really slow. So I'm going to see what that does, and hopefully we'll have some things straightened out. Then Walter's package came a couple of days early. That was supposed to come on Saturday, and it arrived yesterday. So I installed it. Didn't take long to set it up, a couple of minutes to put the thing under the turntable. I fired up the system. The control panel lights came on, and it went to track number 1, which was what it was when the other controller, the electronics controller device, was in the panel. Now, I don't know how in the world it could have went back to track 1. Don't understand that. So, unfortunately, I tried to call Walters today. They're closed. They won't be back until Monday. And I tried to call Soundtracks today, and they're closed. They won't be back till Monday. But I figured out the Soundtrack problem myself, so I don't need to talk to them. But Walters, I need to talk to, because after I put that in, I hit the track button and then hit the up and down key, which is CW or CCW, and it only scrolled through 00, 01, and 02. Still don't see that. So I said, okay, let me just try disconnecting the second console, because I have 2 consoles for my Walters turntable, one in the front and one in the back. And I said, let me just hook up the one directly to the turntable and forget about the other console. I thought maybe something was going on with that. That didn't make no difference. But when I turned the system back on after I did that, I was getting an E0 error condition on the console. And that's what you're supposed to get after you do a factory reset, because the factory reset to default wipes out all the track numbers, resets this tracks 1 and 2, And then it says you have to do a reset to home, which is what E0 code stands for, set home. So I went to the book and looked at the procedure for set home, and I hit the buttons to do that. And as the motor is spinning around, then I get an E3 error. And that error says lost communication with bridge. Now, when I put that new electronics device up there, it has, I don't know, maybe eight of them. I don't know, there might be eight of them on there that are brass pieces, and they have a little ball on the end of it. And there's eight of them, and they're bent to a certain position. That way, when you put it up there, those go up and down to hit the contact on the bottom of the bridge. When you put the bridge in, it has some coil on it, on the bottom of it, and then those things hit that, send the signals to the bridge to make it move and do whatever it needs to do. So one of them looked a little bent, so I don't know if it got damaged when they packed it or when it was shipped. It was in a good packing material. It didn't look like it got damaged. The box wasn't damaged or anything, but that one pin looked like it was a little bit different than the others, and I don't know what they're supposed to look like. So I'm gonna. I was hoping to be able to talk to Walters about it, but I have to wait until Monday to figure out what's going on with that, because now it's not communicating with the bridge. That tells me that the contacts in there are not making good contact somehow. I don't know. So I'm not an expert on the Walters electronics parts, but it was only 4 screws to put in there, and it went up nice and smooth. I didn't have any problems getting the screws in and holding it in place or anything. Matter of fact, the last time with the a little bit of screws they were more troublesome than the smaller screws. The smaller screw sets on the screwdriver easier than a longer screw, because the longer screw will tend to move and come off the screwdriver when you're holding it up to try to get it in that little hole. So they were easier to put in, and just a couple of turns and it made it tight, and it's sitting there not moving. So it's all good with that. So I don't know what's going on, and hopefully when I talk to them on Monday, uh, when they're back in the office, I can get this thing ironed out and figured out. I don't know what else to try. I might take the electronics down over the weekend, and I have the old one in the closet here next to me. I might take them and compare and see if those pins are shaped the same way, and we'll have to wait and see with that. I had that idea earlier today. I thought about doing that, but it was trying to do other things around here, trying to get things to work and stuff. So that's what's going on with the Walters thing. It's still dead in the water as far as I'm concerned. So so then I was working on my 5th level, getting the trains running. And you saw the video of the track cleaning car that I did running around and hiccuping all over the place. And I haven't run that since, but the train that I had running that, pushing that car, was working. It would go around and it wouldn't stop. It hesitated in a couple of spots, and I took one of my cleaning pads that I had, and I went over that area real good, and now it's flawless all the way around. But because that track cleaning car engine was hesitating in a lot of spots, and I took it apart and I soldered the wire back onto the screw that goes into the metal for the ground. And I completely covered it with solder. It looked a little loose to me, and maybe it wasn't making good contact or something like that. I don't know. So I'm going to run that now on the outside track, because today I was going to run those 3 engines that you saw in that video with a couple of cars. I put a couple of cars that it was supposed to pull on it to see how they would run around the track. So I started in the position that I started the track cleaning, and it's right before my double crossover up there on the 5th level. And as the lead engine would get into the double crossover, it went through the first turnout. It got the second turnout, and it stopped right on the frog. And I go, what the heck's going on? So I pull it back, and I get my testers, and I put it on there, and there's power on the frog. It's not flipped. It's nothing like that. There's power going through the frog. So the frog has power. So it shouldn't stop on the frog. I put my fingernail in the frog going through it, and it felt rough in there. So I took an X-Acto knife, and I scraped out whatever I thought might have been in there. Nothing much came out. I don't know what was holding it on there. And sure enough, I said, let me just take the lead engine and take the 2 engines, the middle one and the rear one, off the track. And I put the lead one on, and it went through back and forth, no problem. So then I took the middle engine, ran it back and forth through, no problem. The rear engine, back and forth, no problem. I put them all 3 together. It hangs up on the frogs on the turnouts. So I go, what the hell's going on? So now I decide to do some speed matching to see if the engines are not speed matched. And I also didn't like the lighting on the engine, so I brought them over to my workbench here and changed a couple of CV settings, because I like all the headlights on the engines in the consist, and then the rear light comes on the rear engine when it when you go in reverse. And that's how I set them up. And this one wasn't done that way. And I know why, because originally this was only 2 engines in a consist. Then the train got longer and I needed more power, so I added a 3rd engine. And I looked on this in my soundtracks manual for the decoders, and then they have a sample of 3 engines. And I followed that example, and that was my mistake. And I have other consists with 2 and 3 engine consists together, and the settings are different. So I changed all the settings, and now the lights come on the way I want it to be. And that's all set up now. But so I then said, I'm going to take the 3 engines that are in the consist that I run on the outside track, put them on the inside track. And they ran through that double crossover with no problem. So I go, okay. Now I haven't cleaned the outside track yet. So I put the 3 engines from the consist that were on the inside track, and I put them on the outside track, and they went through the double crossover, but they hit a piece of solder, and you can see the wheels go up a little bit as it went over them. So I took a filed down that solder. It was a rail joiner that I soldered a real long time ago because it wasn't making good contact, and I didn't want to pull it out, put another one in, so I just soldered it. And I think the solder got up a little bit higher than the rail, just a little bit, and the wheel hit that and made a bump. It didn't take it off the track, but I didn't want it to do that with any of the rolling stock, because that might derail a rolling stock car because they're not as heavy as an engine. So I filed it down, and then I ran it through again, but then it stopped as it got past the turnouts, and that's because the track isn't clean. So I decided to put the Conrail engine that I had on that train, but I didn't get a chance to run it because I was trying to do a lot of different things and go. So the inside track has the outside track train now, and I put some cars on it and I ran it around and it went smooth and no derailments, no nothing, and no hiccups on that train at all because that track was cleaned by the track cleaning company. And so that's what's going on with that. And once I get the other shell, then I can run this guy. This is the other track cleaning engine that I showed you guys before. And I have to make some adjustments and stuff like this once I get the shell in. But that's what's going on with that. And so I said, like I took those engines and tried to speed match them, and I used that device that you run the train through and it gives you the miles per hour. So the lead engine at speed step 6 was 6.7 miles per hour. And at speed step 1, it was 1.4 miles per hour. The middle engine at speed step 6, it was 7 miles per hour, only 0.3 of a mile per hour faster than the lead engine. And also speed step 1 was at 1.7 miles per hour, again 0.3 of a mile faster than the lead engine. Then the rear engine at speed step 6 was 7.6. And then speed step 1 was 1.3. So at speed step 6, it was 9/10 of a mile an hour faster than the lead engine, and 0.6 of that faster than the rear middle engine, and 1.3 was a 1/10 of a mile slower than the rear the front engine, and 4 steps slower than the middle engine. So with those speeds at those speed steps, they're close enough. But if you want to tweak them, you have to set 3 CVs in your decoder. And these 3 CVs, I think, are universal in all decoders. I'm not sure, but I know in the I was watching a video today. A guy was talking about a Digitrax Digitrax decoder, and he said you have to set CV2, 5, and 6, and CV2 is the V start. That's the voltage starting point, and V5 is the V start high speed, and V6 is the V start mid speed. So why they made 5 high and 6 mid, don't ask me. That was the NRMA. They did that. So I don't know why they did that. But you can tweak those numbers to get the engines closer together. So if you take 2 engines and run them on your track together in a consist and don't have them together, and they should stay pretty close to each other as they're going along. But sometimes the front one starts out faster than the rear engine does, and then they move along equally. And that's because when the code is sent down to the consist, the lead engine gets the code first. So he gets the start command first, and then he goes, and then the command goes down the line to get to the next engine in the consist, and then down the line to get the next engine in the consist. So there's a slight delay in the other two engines getting the start commands. So it's not that much time, but it's still, there's a delay, and you can notice the front engine might take off and the other two engines then catch up behind it. So that's how that all works. So it's interesting. So I might play around with tweaking some of those numbers to see if it comes out any better. But I mean, I ran the engines together without even doing anything because A, they're all Atherin engines, and B, they all have soundtracks to Sami 2s in them. So the rule of thumb is when you consist engines is A, get like engines, same manufacturer, same model, number of engines inside it. You have a better chance of consisting the same engine with another same engine. You don't want to take a Soundtrax engine and an ESU, or Soundtrax and a Digitrax, or a Soundtrax and whatever other NCE decoders. There's other ones out there too, but I don't know all the names of them. But you don't want to do that. You can do it, but it's harder to consist them together. And because the settings in each decoder vary, so you have to figure out what the V start is in that decoder. Like in a Soundtrax decoder, is it Dave from Carolina Foothills? I think that's Dave, right? Yeah. How you doing, Dave? Welcome. So that's what you have to do. And you can say hi, Dave, Jim. You don't have to type it. You can just say hello.
I don't want to interrupt you, Tom. You're going on a roll.
Yeah, that's okay. Okay. So now that's what I've been playing around with for the last few days, trying to get these things ironed out. And it's weird that it all works one day and then you have a problem the next day. It doesn't make any sense why the train ran around, and it was hesitating with a cleaning car through that double crossover. So I don't know if those two turnouts are good or bad or whatever, but the other end trains run through it with no problem. So it doesn't make any sense. So that's another day and another problem to look into. So the 3D printing world for the week, I've been working on a couple of things. And since Joe Rader's here, I might as well go to that part first. I printed Joe Rader. That's O scale. Wow. That's O scale Joe Rader, and he's holding Tammy there. And that's O scale. The HO scale I got there too. So the O scale was for Rick Rollman. I didn't have this when I mailed out the other ones, and I got the O scale one there. Al Marr is the only other guy I didn't get yet, and he's been sick for the last couple of weeks. So I give him a break from me bothering him to get me a picture. So I just said, don't worry about it. Whenever you feel better, let me know. So then I printed a holder, this little box here. Okay, you guys seen this before. This is the Blue Man. And what he does is you put it on a track and he lights up. And it tells you if you have good connection on your track. Now,
That's cool.
this was the original one that I had. This little guy, but you can't find these anymore. So I was buying stuff from that guy and I noticed he had the Blue Men, and I got the Blue Man thing. So these all, I have 5 of these things. I got 4 of the Blue Men and that one thing that I got there. And I had them on my workbench out there. And I go, and then I put things on the workbench to work on, and I got to move them around so they don't get damaged. And I said, I've had enough of this. So today I designed a holder for them so that I can put these somewhere on my layout, like on a fascia or on the helix, on the masks that go up and down. I might just, tack them on there. And then the little Blue Man goes into the holder like this, and it'll be sitting there waiting for me to just take it out. Then I don't have to go over to the workbench and see this and stuff like that. Hey, James, welcome. Merry Christmas to you. So who's Cub Bear? I don't know who that guy is. Do we know who he is? What's his first, you know what his first name is? What's your first name, Cub Bear? I'll have to add you to my thing. Can you print hand brake stands for Boost? Yeah, I can, Joe. All you got to do, if you can find a file, I can print it. Oh, Ken, very good, Ken. Nice to meet you. I'll make a note of that. I'll put that in my file so I don't forget it. So, yeah, Joe, no problem at all. Matter of fact, I think I printed some before. I don't know if I have a file to do it. If I do, I'll let you know. And then I'll send you some of your self in HO scale, because I know you're HO scale down there. So once I get some more done, I'll just pack them up and send them down to you, Joe. And how many of those brake hand stands do you need for the caboose? 2, or you have a lot of cabooses that need them? 10 plus 11 equals 21. Your lifetime total. So what's, okay, I know how to do math, James. So what's the math question for? I like the math questions you find on YouTube or on Facebook where they're doing 50 times or 50 plus 25 times 4 divided by 7 or whatever. They will also go on my tank cars. Okay, Joe, we'll get together after the holidays and we'll get that straightened out for you. Not a problem. So, yeah, so, and the other thing I was working on is on my Bamboo Labs. I saw a video of a guy where he's printing something, and then after the print's done, it automatically pushes the model off of the build plate. And I said, "Ooh, that's cool. I've been wanting to do that for a long time." Well, I found the place that does this, and you have to go into the machine's G code in your slicer, and mine happens to be the Bamboo Lab Studio, and you can edit the G code in there. And the G code is all the commands that are sent to the printer to print your job. Okay. So there's G code out there to eject the print. And it's a few lines of code, and it's supposed to move the print head of the printer across the build plate and knock off the model. But you have to print a part. And this is the part that I printed. And it's a face that goes on front of the printer. And this snaps on to the other part, which is this part. This is the original part that comes with the Bamboo Labs printer, this guy. And then this is the replacement that you put on. And see how much longer it is than the other one? Let me get my fingers in the back if I can. See how much longer it is? So when that's on there, that goes down to almost touching the build plate. It's 5 millimeters above the build plate. So you can't print anything smaller than 5 millimeters. So I was printing this thing, and I had it this way so that it's taller. It's taller this way. So what happened was it went in, it did move around and everything, and then this popped off the face of the printer head, and then it didn't move it out. So then I contacted the guys, spoke with them, chatted with them over the internet, and then I said, hey, my model stick to the build plate really well. And I used the Bamboo Labs adhesive on it. That's what I told him. And he said, okay. I said, is there a cool down process? So he gave me some code to cool down the printer, and I set it at 30 degrees Celsius to cool it down to 30 degrees Celsius. So it got down to, I was doing it on this my A1 Mini back here, this guy. And check this guy out. So I then added the cool down process. It got down to 40 degrees Celsius on the build plate. I don't care what the nozzle temperature is. It's just the build plate needs to cool down so you can take off the model. And it got to 40, and then it's triggered the process to eject. And it did the same thing. It wouldn't move it off. And I took my finger on the model, and I couldn't slide it off. So I just took it off the build plate by taking the whole build plate off and flexing it, and then it popped right off. So as a test on the A1, I printed these little boxes for my Blumen, and I tested it on there, and I checked the printer, the temperatures, and I left the last model on there, and I still couldn't move it with one finger. And it was dropping down. It got down to 30, and I tried to move it, and it still wouldn't budge. It was really stuck on there. Then it got down to 27, and it wasn't moving. So I went in and I hit the temperature, and I changed it to make it 20 Celsius. So then it dropped down to 26 to 25. And at 25, I was able to force it off. with my finger. I pushed it hard and then it popped off. So I'm thinking maybe if I change it to 20, it'll be cold enough for it to come off with the pushing of the thing. If I can get this part to stay on, because when this goes past, it's going backwards this way to the back of the printer. And what it does is it hits the model, and the model pushes it pops it right, because there's only a couple of clips here on the top and in the center here, and they clip onto the printer head cover, and that's what covers it. And same thing on this guy. There's 2 tabs there and 2 tabs inside there. They're hard to see. They're small, but that's where they are. So I've been playing around with trying to automate a lot of the process. This way, I can print something and go away, and then it would knock it off, and then I could remotely print another job from the app if I wanted to, or I could reprint the same part from the app on my phone. I don't have to even be here and start printing again. Now they do have files that you can download. That's where I got these. And if you have a Bamboo Labs printer, you can do this. A new version of the Purser printer. They also have files for the Purser printer if you have a Purser filament printer. This only works on filament printers, not resin printers. You can't push it off a build plate on a resin printer. That'd be a disaster.
Yeah,
so yeah. So they also have a mechanism that you can 3D print, and it's to auto eject the whole build plate. So it pushes off the build plate onto the floor or into a bin. If you have a bin out there, it'll fall into the bin, and then it'll pull in another build plate and put it on your thing, and then you can start printing like that. Now, these guys that do this have a large farm of printers, and they're not going to be waiting until print jobs finish to get the print off. They're sending jobs in to print over and over and over again. So they want to be able to get the printout off, and that's what they came up with. So it's pretty interesting stuff. So I hope I get it to work. It never works the first time. I thought I was going to have a Christmas present by this working, but that didn't happen. So what are you going to do? So the other day I was looking for a drill bit in my toolbox, and I uncovered a tool that I had from when I was a little kid. And this here is what it is. And all it is a magnet on the end of this. It looks like a pencil. It has a pocket holder. If you have a pocket, you can put it in your pocket and hold it in there. And this is from a company that doesn't exist anymore. But I got this, and I know what I used to use this for? Picking up the spikes that may have fell onto the track when you were nailing down your track onto plywood. And I used to pick up the spike with that, bring it over, and then I could take it off and put it into the hole, and it made it easier. So like here, I got a screw, and you're not going to see me be able to, but there's 2 screws on there now. I don't know if you can see that they're black screws. So, and I can turn it upside down. They don't come off. It's totally magnetized. So what I was using this for was I'm working on layout, putting screws up under the thing, and they fall and they drop down to the next level. And I don't know where they go because there's so much scenery all over the place. It goes behind a bush, it goes in a tree, whatever, or just lays on the ground on on the grass or whatever. And I take this and I go around an area, and then like I found a couple of screws by just doing this around the layout. So it was pretty nifty how, and I didn't remember I had this, and I just looked in the bin and said, "Holy hell, that thing there! I got that when I was like 9 years old or something like that."
Damn.
Yeah, so that's an old tool, but it still works. The magnet's still good, so that's like um, over 60 years old. So, and the magnet's still good. I guess magnets never go bad, you know. So they got something to work right. They got something to work right. Wish they could get batteries to last like that. So, and then just want to give you an update on Barbara. She came over the other day and started painting my mini-me's for the Dessler group. I had like over 20 of them to do. And she got a bunch done. I told her to take it easy and everything. Then the next day, she tells me she can't see out of her left eye anymore. And I go, what the hell's going on? So it was bleeding in her eye again because she started seeing the same stuff that she was seeing when it was bleeding in her eye again. So now today it was a little better than what it was the other day. So it's up and down with that eye. And she don't go back to the eye doctor until January 5th or 6th or something like that. So once you get old, things start going wrong, and they don't recover as fast like you were when you were younger. So, but it's the way it is. And then I had another brilliant idea, and this is a project for 2026. And that's going to be bringing the train from the 5th level into my office where I'm sitting and run it around the room above the door, the woodwork. And I have an idea. The only problem is I think I'm only going to be able to do one line in, and I may have to run it in and then go out on the same track because up there on the 5th level, this corner coming in that side of the room is where the turntable is. And I don't want to disrupt that area. So this side here on the outside door, I can come in through that wall and go around the room, and then I can go back out. So I would have to put a Y turnout somewhere in my room here and have it go in this way and come around and go out, which is going to be a reverse loop. And I'm going to need another AR-10 to correct it. So that's what I'm going to do. Yeah,
That's a good one, Rick.
I always get a good to cut holes in the walls for trains. Yes, it is. Yeah, that's right, guys. Yeah, yeah. That's not an upper room, Dave. It's my whole house is on the same level. It's a ranch home, and it's long, and the room that I have it in is 25 feet long and a 12 feet wide room. That's where my train room is in. And my office is 14 by 14, I think, something like that. So, and then there's a big closet here, but I'm not going to go in the closet and come out. I'm going to go around it and come around and then go around the room, and then there's another closet behind me. So it's gonna be interesting to get it to go around this room. Going to be a lot of curves and stuff. Hey, I cut 3 holes. Hey, I have 3 holes cut in my beam that goes across in the train room. I have a solid beam that goes across the room this way, and it holds up the roof in that room. I don't think you needed that. They didn't have to put that in there. These guys, that's why they did it, but that's what they did. So I think they just put it there to like offset the room. The room is actually 2 rooms. There's a foyer there. That's where my front door is, and then that's where my double sliding door is to go to the back of the house and the front door. So that's called the foyer area. And then that room was a family room. There's a fireplace in that room, which I can't use because it melted a tortoise machine one day when I turned it on, and I said I can't have that anymore. So I don't even use it anymore. So, but it's a gas fireplace. So you just turn on the gas and you have a fireplace going. So it's pretty easy. But I don't use it. I turned it off and don't use that anymore. But the one day I'm trying to change the turnout to go into the yard, and it melted the tortoise machine. It was really bizarre. If I maybe put a heat shield there, it might protect the tortoise machines. Then I could have that heat running underneath the floor, I guess, and then it'll rise and stuff. But it was right there it's right there. That tortoise machine is right there near the thing. Now, what I could do is I could take that tortoise machine and move it and have a long string wire and do it that way, and it'd be further away from the stove. But I said, nah, I'm not going to mess around because the heat might heat up the lights. There's lights underneath there and for signals and everything. Yeah, nah, I'm not going to take the chance.
It'd be fun to watch, though.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, it didn't burn it; it just melted it. It wasn't even a burnt color. All it did was took the green part of the torch machine and melted it.
And warped it out, huh?
Yeah, warped the hell out. Yeah, thanks, Rick. Yeah. Yeah, I was surprised that they came so early, Rick. They weren't supposed to get to your place until like the 29th or next Tuesday. But like I said, whenever I ship out anything, it gets to the people I ship to faster. But when I'm trying to get something in, it's like pulling teeth to get it here. It never fails. It never fails. So I'm glad you got it. Dave at night, he got his today too. I saw his was delivered. See, I track him on my phone. Yeah. Yeah, not in Canada. Yeah, well, no kidding, because you guys postmen have been on strike forever. So what can you do? I think they should fire all the postmen in the United States and hire new people to do the job, because these guys here, yeah, it could be worse or it could be better. I don't know. I'll be right back. You need to run to the mailbox. Yeah. So, yeah. He's got to go get his. That's Dave Knight. I think that's Carolina Foothills because he lives in North Carolina. I think because that's where I shipped it to. I think that's the Dave that I sent mini me's to. So yeah, that was both of them got them delivered today. So it was pretty funny how when I send things out, they get there. Just like when I shipped to you, Jim, I sent things down to you, and they got there real quick, and that's going all the way down to Florida.
I know, go figure, right?
Right. I get something coming from Florida. It takes a year and a half to get up to New Jersey. You know what
Although
it is?
I just ordered couplers, Katie couplers from someplace in New Jersey, and they won't be here until Monday. I ordered them back 4 days ago, so they're taking
Oh,
pretty long to get down here as well.
well, you're on eBay. You ordered them from?
Yeah,
The guy was in
yeah,
New
they
Jersey.
got them in the mail, because I know
Yeah,
at first they create the postage and you got to wait for them to accept it, but they actually had it in their possession. It left the post office. I can't remember what city it was in Jersey, but it's like taking forever to get here. Hopefully, it'll make it here Monday. They
yeah.
say it
That
will, but I don't believe anything.
I think I know what guy you're talking about because I've gotten stuff from him too in the past. He ships
Really?
out the very next day. He doesn't waste time. Some guys wait. Like the engine I ordered, a GP30 on eBay. It's coming from um, Oregon or Washington. I don't know. And he shipped it out. It created the shipping label, and the post office never got it. And I sent him a message on eBay. I said, "Hey, did the post office get my package yet? Because I don't see no traction." He said, "I dropped it off the other day to the post office." I said, "Oh, that's typical. They're not scanning packages again." After I talked to him, a couple hours later, the status changed. So they must hear me complaining. Then they change the status. Good. Yeah.
Makes you wonder, doesn't it?
Yeah, it makes me wonder, right? What do I got to do? Call up? Like I was going to call the post office today. I ordered ladder couplers direct from KD myself. Yeah, I know what you mean, KD. That's it's KDEE, not K double D E.
Hey,
Not
give
K
me
them.
for effort.
Yeah, yeah, spell check. Yeah, don't you love spell check? Um, it's especially on the phones. You're typing a message to somebody, and it changes the word, and that changes the whole um, complex of the message you're sending.
Yeah, it
You
does.
know, yeah, you know, you got to be careful. So I always read before I send. If that word there, no, that's not what I wanted. You know, like, like you say, get the heck out, and then it says get the fuck out. It's a lot different. You know, you know, and
Yeah.
whoever you're sending it to. So
I did that. I sent a text message to Crooked Dave, and it's a good thing I caught it because it said something. I just, hey, Dave, I got your part. And it said, hey, babe. Going, no, that's not what I said.
yeah, right, right,
I had to go back and it does it almost every time. I don't know why.
yeah, right. Because that's how you can get yourself in trouble. You
Oh,
know,
hell yeah.
yeah, and even when I'm typing in comments on Facebook, you know, like I comment on a lot of those political things. Like now, the idiot guy from Minnesota and the idiot guy from California are trying to run together for the presidency in
Are you
2028.
serious?
Yeah, and
Oh, man.
I put down two criminals. The guy on the left is a retard, and the other guy is called Uscum. And yeah.
I think they're both retards, to be honest with you.
Yeah. And I just put that in there. Every time I see that guy on Facebook, I call him a retard, and I'm hoping that he responds to it. But he's not putting those posts up. Somebody else is.
Oh,
So
yeah, I'm sure. But
I think
I'm sure he sees them now at some point.
yeah, he has to see them
Yeah.
because anybody can see them, right? They're viewed by anybody, right?
Can you imagine going through life being labeled as a retard?
Yeah, right. Yeah, yeah. Well, Trump called him a retard first, and then I'm backing up Mr. Trump on that.
Everybody's calling him a retard, though. I mean, it's like it's a handle that's sticking, you know.
Yeah, and all that fraud that's going on here. Jim, why don't you order from Train?
I get their ads almost every day, you know, my email, but I've seen a few things that were reasonably priced, but a lot of it was overpriced. So it all depends. I mean, I don't need much. Like I'm going to be looking for another one of these Athearn passenger cars, 85 footer. And actually, I looked for one on Train World, and they didn't have one available. So I'll keep checking. Maybe they'll get one, and if the price is right, I'll buy it.
Well, eBay would be your best bet for that, I think.
Well, I got the last one on eBay. That's this one right here. I paid $15 for it on a make offer. They wanted 19 for it. I put in 15. He accepted it the same day. They shipped it out the next day, so I grabbed it. But I've had to redo everything because it's lighted, but it's still no interior. Got a single light bulb in it.
Yeah.
It's dumb. So I 3D printed an interior for it, and I'm redoing. I've got the buckboard and current keeper set up so that you know I want to have a flashing light inside and all LEDs. I hope to have that done the next day or two.
Yeah, I got all my passenger cars that I got put lights in them and people in them and stuff like that because they all have interiors in them. But I need to have people put in. I think the one my New Jersey Transit double deck on the passenger train, I put people in that. I'm not sure. I got to look at it again, but it's not lighted, so I'm going to light it up. But I got to get some more of those wheels with the brass tube on.
Right here.
Yeah.
No, I've got a couple of them, so.
No,
actually, if you need them, I'll send you a pair of them if you want.
No, I get them from JB Wheel Sets.
Okay.
And he makes the wheels with a brass tube on.
Okay. Yeah, you're getting those ones. Yeah, they work good too.
Yeah, they work good.
The thing I like about these, they don't roll as good as I'd like them to. They're kind of stiff.
No. See, I put them in the trucks that I 3D print, and they roll really nice. And then you solder the wire onto the brass tube and put the hole in the bottom, and then it stays and it rolls. That spins, but it won't tangle the wire. So it's pretty good. So that's what I'm going to do with them down the road. Right now, I'm just trying to get the trains to run with the cleaning stuff and everything. And when the guy comes back, he's not available until the January something. So I got to talk to him about, like, I got 2 engines that I need. That's a GP30, which will be coming on Friday, and a GP40, which I have on my shelf that I was going to switch over to DCC, but I said I can use it as a track cleaning car. And then I'll have the same models that are on those lower deck of my track, because a GP38-2 which is what I originally got, and they're a little bit too long to run on 18-inch curves.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the problem. So they run on 22 and 23, but it's really strange how I have GP38-2s on my first layout. And those two engines run around that loop. That was the train you saw on the intro video. They're GP38s that run that train. That's twos. Now, GP38s are a little bit smaller than a GP38-2.
Mhm.
Don't ask what the differences are. I don't know. So, but I know they're smaller than a -2 is. So that's, I'm going to use the -2s up on the bigger trains because that's 22 radius and 28 radius tracks up there. So they'll run on there. Matter of fact, the other one ran on there. It just hiccuped all over the place. So I guess the track wasn't really clean, or it was. You could put those printed shells on a flat car and make it a hospital train, like when the real ones crash. Yeah,
That's
I
kind of
mean,
cool idea.
yeah, I can. Yeah, these here too that I 3D printed, a GP18 and a GP38. So yeah, I could put them on flat cars. You know, I can make them a load. I don't know. I'll just leave them there for now, but I'm not planning on doing anything with them yet. But first, I got to make some flat cars that can handle them. Yeah, James, I bought things from Train World all the time. And matter of fact, I just got something from them within the last month. But it's not going to be fun ordering anything out of New York City after January. So if you want to get anything from Train World, now's the time to get it because you won't get it after January. So,
What's going on in there? Are they moving out?
well, a lot of businesses are going to have to close down if this freaking idiot mayor takes over that city.
Oh, yeah, I've
So,
heard that too.
yeah.
Well, they'll
So,
probably relocate though. Maybe they'll go to Texas or hell, even here in Florida.
yeah,
Oh,
who knows? Yeah, they can move anywhere, get out of that city. But it depends on the guys. Whoever owns it, who owns Train World, what they want to do. Because
that's true.
they'll right, they'll they're going to kill all the businesses in that city. So
I know it's unbelievable, isn't it?
yeah, a lot of people are canceling out their Christmas um, uh, shows and stuff like that in the city already. So
Wow.
yeah, ship it to her. Well,
There you go.
yeah, that's what you should do, James. Just have it ship it to her, and then she can bring it up to you. Okay, Joe. Thanks for stopping in. Merry Christmas to you and
Merry Christmas,
Tammy,
Joe.
and have a good one. And we'll catch you later. Thanks for stopping in. So yeah, it's so that's how it goes. Oh, good. You got him. Great. Good deal, Dave. Yeah, you were HO scale. You never told me what scale. I just guessed you were HO scale. So yeah, there's a lot in there, and they're all identified, so you know who's who. Because when they're HO scale, it's harder to tell who they are. But the O scale, Rick could tell. But I labeled each one, put them each in an individual bag, so you would know which one was which. The ones that I had like Mr. and Mrs. or father and daughter, I duplicated those in the same bag. Like um, Anthony and Joyce Dodge, they're in the same bag. And then Corey and Dave Cole. Corey is the daughter of Dave. So those two are in the same bag. So, but I printed each one out individually. That's what took so long because it was pretty interesting. Um, on the big printer, I was printing the O scale. And on the small printer, I was printing the HO scale. And I had them all going and everything was going. Then I had a problem with the big printer and the FEP got a hole in it. And I had to print a couple more people. And I spliced the files to be able to print on the small printer. They printed faster on the small printer than the bigger printer. The bigger printer, it was 4 to 5 hours to print an O scale guy. And to print it on the 4K, it was less, it was 2 hours and 2 minutes or something like that. It was almost half of the time. So what I should have done was print the O scale and the HO scale on the same plate. Then I could have done both at the same time. But once I get done printing them, I then take the build plate off of the printer and I put it in a vat of water and I let it set overnight. And like right now, I have a Joe Raider that I'm going to keep here in the wood. And I'll take it out in the morning, scrape it off. I don't even have to scrape it. It just almost comes right off of the build plate and makes it easier to work with. Then I clean the build plate, put it back on, and then I start another print. Yeah, it does, Rick. It takes a long time because each one is like, if I really pushed it, I can get away with leaving it in the water for like 6 to 8 hours. So if I get a print done by noontime, I can put it in the water, and by 6 hours, it's 6 o'clock in the evening, I can take it out of the water and it'll come off. And then I can clean the supports off and do that. And it works out. And then I can start another print for the day. So I can almost get 2 in at a day. But the way I was printing them, I was doing you, Rick in the HO scale and in the G scale at the same time on both printers. And then I would put them in the water, both build plates in the bin in the water, and let them set overnight, and then scrape them off, and then clean the bins or clean the plates and start another person. But that process of sitting in water makes it so much easier to get the models off of the build plate. So with resin, of course. Like I 3D printed a 130,000 gallon spear on the resin printer. It had a curved stairway and it had a pipe that comes out and goes down to the ground on it. And it printed all that and supports all over the place. And I was taking the supports off, and then the ladder came apart, of course, and then I had to glue it back together. And I left the ladder off. I put it up there and found spots for it. I don't know if I can show you that. Let's see. Let's go to this view here. And that'll show you. There they are. If they come in focus. The silver spear was printed on the filament printer. And then the white spear with the curved ladder, you can see the curved ladder ends right there. The long part, I didn't put it on yet because I gotta put a fence around this area. These two tanks here, I got to put a fence around this area and put some gravel down in there and stuff like that. So see, with the lights, I'm set up to be blue. I have my overhead lights. I can control them through an app on my phone. I can control them on Alexa and everything. And when I change it to blue, it allows you to see the camera view a lot clearer. And before, those yellow lights wouldn't even show up if it was white up on the top. The white drowns over everything on the layout. So I turn them on blue at nighttime. That way the cameras pick up the stuff. And if we go over to here, to this side, that's the tunnel that goes to the other side of the room. And you couldn't even see that detail before. See, it's clear now, right? And all that is foam, pink foam. That's the same stuff that's right here that I put on the layout. And then I just took a knife, a X-Acto knife, or the big knife tool with the hand. And do you need any pine trees for your layout? No, I make my own pine trees, Rick. I did a video on how to make my pine trees. My pine trees are made out of wire. And I take the wire and I spin it on a drill, and then it tightens up the string. The branches are all rope, twine, and you cut the twine and put them in between the two wire, and then you spin it, and it spins it, and then you just shape it to a pine tree. It's pretty cool. So that mountain used to be a stone, a brick wall that I put up straight up, and I didn't like that. So I changed it to this stuff, which is rock. And the beauty of this is I have a few pins that I put in to hold that all together, and I can take them pins out, and then I can remove that, and then I can work on that track, or if I had a problem there or something. So the brick wall was glued all together and in place, and you couldn't remove it. And so, like, the brick wall enclosed this tortoise machine right here. So that's a building that I covered up the tortoise machine with, a little building there, and just put that there. That was enclosed in the brick wall before. Now it's exposed because of this stone monstrosity I put up there. So, and that's lighter. It was easier to work with. Barbara painted it all. We used a couple of special colors to make it look like rock. But my point is, before making the lights blue, the camera made this have a blur in it right here because it was white from the lights, and it was making a blur, and you couldn't see the wall at all. So see how those pumps there are moving? That's pump number 1 and 2 you see in the picture. And then the one behind it, see how fast that one's going? And those two are barely moving.
Yeah, the first two look more realistic.
Yeah, that. So I ordered motors from Amazon, and they came, and I changed it to pump number 2 because that other motor went back, and I changed it, and I said, "Look how slow that's going. That's the way I want it." So
I know,
then,
looks good.
hey, so then I said, "Why don't I get the other motors?" So if we go, let me just go back here, and we get all 4 pumps up there, and you can see how pumps 3 and 4 are moving faster than they have. I think the RPMs in those motors are 128 or 132, something like that. These RPMs are 16, and that's why it's so slow. So if we go down to the next level, uh, where can I see that from? Here. And if we go up, yeah, it's gonna be hard to see them because it's dark. But there it goes. It lit up. Look at that. The camera adjusted. That's pretty cool. These cameras are the best cameras ever. So those 2 pumps are going slower than the top 2, but they're not as slow as the numbers 1 and 2. Now I can get all of them in here if I adjust the camera just a little bit and go over to the left. Okay, now you can see all 6 pumps. And these 2 down here are slower than these 2, but they're still faster than these 2. And these are the last 2 pumps. Yeah, Rick, I have my first trains too, but they're still sitting on the shelf. DC. Waycross, welcome. How you doing? Welcome.
Hey Scott, how you doing?
Yeah, Rick Mayan is a Mark. Yeah, I have 2 F7s with dummies that I got when I was um, 20. Let's see, 25 minus 2, 23 days old. That's when I got my first 2 trains. I was 23 days old. But Dad got them for me for Christmas. I was born on December 2nd, and Christmas was 23 days. And so in 23 days, I had my first trains. But I didn't get to play with them until I was a lot older.
So really, your dad bought them for himself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So,
Typical dad thing, right?
yeah, right. So that was pretty good. But as you can see, so what I did, I went on Amazon again, and then this time I checked the RPMs, and I got 2 packs of 16 RPMs coming, and I'm going to replace the 4 pumps that are moving faster with those. Now, I think the 2 packages I got have 2 motors in each, so that's 4. That'll take care of those 4. The last ones I ordered was 1 each. And that
What's the
was these
voltage
2.
you're running on that?
And it slowed it down a bit. I think these are 68. What's that, Jim?
So what voltage are they running at?
Oh,
6
they're
volt,
running
12
at
volt, 3 volt?
I think it's 6. That's 6 volts, I think.
Okay.
It's between 3.5 and 6 volts. Yeah, that's a separate bus line, a DC bus line for them. And I have a 16-volt DC bus line that I run around the layout. And then I have a buckboard hooked up to that bus line that I changed it down to, I think it was 6 volts. I'm pretty sure it might be 6 volts. But I took that same motor and I put it on a 9-volt battery and ran it, and it still ran very slow. And so I said, because I said, ooh, if I put that on there and it goes real slow, maybe I can just put a buckboard on there and tweak the voltage down a little bit to make it even go slower. But I said, nah, I'm not going to mess with it. I'm just going to leave. I'll just get the right motor RPMs, and then that'll take care of that. So that'll be
I
here.
think I'm going to do the same thing. If you get a chance, not anytime soon, but send me the link for the motors, and I'm going to go ahead and order me some at some point.
Yeah, when I get them, I'll make sure that they work first, and then I'll let you know.
All right.
That's in 1963 I was 4. Okay, in 1963 I was 1965, 6, 7, 8. I was 8 years old in 1963.
And I was 5.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So I was born in 1955. So I'm in the 70-year-old club now.
There you are.
Yeah. Right.
I ain't too far behind you though, 66.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm vintage 67. Yeah. That's right, Rick. Well, I'm a 55 Chevy. So
Yeah, there
I
you
think
go.
yeah. I'm a 66.
All right, so you're born the same year I was, JD.
Yeah.
I was born in 59.
Yeah. Yeah, you and Jim are about the same age. And Russ is 1963. So he's probably 62, I think.
Yeah, he's born the same year my sister was, actually.
Yeah.
I think she's 62. I
Yeah,
believe.
James got me beat by 3 years. He was born in 1952.
Yeah, he did. James, you're an old man.
Yeah. Born in 1963, Ken was. In 1958 for Rick. Yeah, you were born the same year. Yeah, the same. Montreal. Hey, Mon, how you doing? Welcome. How's things down in Australia? So, yeah, so it's just been, crazy with that. Yeah, 1958. That's when my brother was born. He's younger than me. Just me and my brother, the only two in my family. So, got Russ. I said hello to Russ. So it's been a busy week, but nothing works. So it's like I work on the trains and then I say, okay, I'm going to go work on a printer thing. Abbey Road, 1969. Yep. Yeah, 1968, 1969. I remember those years very well. Class of 77. I was class of 74. James was probably class of 71.
Yeah, probably.
71. Yeah, 3 years. Yeah. 1966, the Monkees. Yep.
Oh yeah, I remember them.
Yeah, we used to watch them every time they were on TV. See, that's when shows were good. They were only on once a week. You don't have 1,000 channels and they're on every other channel.
Only that, but the season lasted all year practically.
Yeah.
They had 40, 50 episodes.
Not
Now
even.
they get 10. It's like, really?
Yeah, they didn't have that many episodes because they used to start in September with the new series,
I
and
think
then
so.
they
Yeah.
would end in July, June or July, it would
Yeah.
be over. And then they would start making the shows for the following year in June, July, August, and then they would be ready for September.
I
Yeah, the
remember the
banana.
banana splits, JD.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, all the good stuff. Now it's all crap that's on TV. Hey, Bob, welcome. How you doing?
Bob, how you doing?
Yeah, welcome. So yeah, it's just crazy stuff, all those great shows, and now it's just crap on TV.
Yeah, you got that right.
Right? Even you used to be able to watch the news, and you used to get Walter Cronkite and was the other guy Brinkley something? I can't remember all the names, but you could rely on them. You could watch
That's
them,
when they told the truth, man.
right? And but the only thing was the weathermen have been wrong ever since the beginning of time. So
Pretty
they
much.
were
Yeah.
they were never right. It's the only job you could do wrong and still get paid well for.
I
So
know. And all you
yeah,
got to do is look out the damn window.
yeah, that's what I do every day. I get up, I say thank you for letting me wake up, and I go, look at this, look at it, the sun's out, yay! I could have said that on the news,
Yeah,
you
right.
know,
You should be
yeah,
getting paid $2 million a year for that too.
Now, see, I don't have a low uh, cut line in my front. I don't have a low cut to wear on the show. So that's all they do is put good looking people on there. But then Barbara was telling me she was watching some news today and they had a real big lady on. And she said, I never saw a big lady on the news before.
That's
I said,
different.
yeah, that was different, right?
Romper Room. Yeah, that was my favorite show when I was a little kid.
Romper Room. I never watched Romper Room. I know what it is, but I never watched it.
Oh, it was classic,
I watched Mr. Rogers.
Oh,
Saw Mr.
absolutely. Captain
Watched
Kangaroo.
Captain Kangaroo. Um, um, uh, Rocky and Friends. That
Oh,
was
yeah, absolutely.
um, thanks, Bob. Yeah, it's that's overhead lights, Bob. I have two lights. Used to have a fan in the train room, and I thought it would help cool down the room in the summertime. But then it started blowing the scenery stuff all over the place. So I took the fan out. Then I put up these track lights up there, but they were getting in the way when I would go up on my creeper and I would hit my head on the lights and everything. So then I got these flat lights and they're circular and you can change the colors and everything. So so I changed them to the color blue at nighttime. Daytime it's white so I can see what I'm working on. Yeah, I saw that, James. Nice. And it helps when I'm working on the layout. And then I have LEDs that go underneath all the levels, and then I can tell Alexa turn on daylight, and then that lights up the layout from underneath, so I can see what's going on underneath one of the levels.
Rap Patrol.
Rat Patrol, yeah,
That was a
and
great show.
and
What was the other
Johnny
one? Combat. Combat was good.
Combat, Johnny Quest,
Yeah.
yeah, Johnny Quest, and Race Bannon and Haji, and what was the dog's name? I can't remember the
Bandit.
dog. Bandit, yeah, Bandit, yeah, Bandit, yeah, yeah.
I'm surprised I remembered that.
Yeah, yeah. I used to watch the Hallmark Channel all the time, Bob. They always play a lot of good Christmas videos or
Yeah, they
shows
do.
on. Yeah, but I haven't seen it in a while. I don't watch that much TV. Um, I watch TV in the evening around 8 or 9 o'clock. And then I watch it for about 2 hours, and then I'm done for the day. That's about it. So I watch like shows like Columbo and uh, uh, what's the other one there? Rockford Files, and all the old shows I watch. New stuff, not so good.
No,
I
there
don't
isn't
watch.
much. There isn't much worth watching today.
No,
I'll tell you, I mostly watch anime because the shows are just garbage.
yeah. Well, the problem is the talent out there is not as good as it used to be. It's just
That's true.
even the actors and the people that write the shows are not talented at all. They
No, they're all
can't
cookie
even.
cutter shows. Different
Yeah,
actors, same story.
yeah. They change people. They make them this. They make them that, and they got um, women playing guy parts and shows and stuff like that. They're just rewrites of the old shows. They can't even come up with their
Pretty
own.
much, yeah.
Yeah, Columbo is funny. He's a good, funny guy. But
Hey, Randall.
what's so funny though? It's so old of a show, and the technology today. You wonder how in the world they figured out things. But it's only TV, and they got insight into everything. But you can't. I sometimes I root for the criminal to win than Columbo to come up with the answer. Stuff like that.
True.
But I know all the shows. I remember them all from before, and it's I can watch one. I say, oh, I remember this one. This guy kills this one, and this one gets it. Yeah, just like Rockford Files. I know all those shows. I watch. These are shows that
That was
we
another
watched.
good show.
Yeah, we watched them shows a long time ago. I watch college football, and that's about it. Maybe Sunday night baseball during season, but rarely. Now, Bob, I don't watch any sports any longer. Ever since that idiot did that thing, you know which one I'm talking about. I don't watch the sport anymore because they're overpaid bunch of babies. They're not even good. Just like there's a thing going around now where there's people trying to get Barry Bonds into the Hall of Fame. And I said, this guy is a drug addict. He took steroids, and he should have about 10 asterisks next to his record because he was not as good as Hank Aaron. Hank Aaron, in my books, is still the home run king. Barry Bonds had a juiced up body, and that's how he hit all those home runs. He would have never done that. When he came into the league, he was a skinny kid. And if he could hit the ball past the infield, he was lucky. He hit a lot of line drives, and that's how he got hits. But he couldn't hit home runs until he started getting on the juice. And that's why Dave McGuire and the other guy, or Mark McGuire and the other guy, both were from Oakland, and they were hitting 69, 70 home runs a year. BS. No good. No, they don't. And then they don't let a guy. Now, drugs to me are worse than gambling.
Absolutely.
Right? But they didn't let Pete Rose get into the Hall of Fame. and he gambled in baseball, which is taboo, and that's why he didn't get into the Hall of Fame. He has the most hits than any other person out there. He was a great player. I didn't like Cincinnati, but I still know who's good and who isn't. Matter of fact, my team beat Cincinnati in the World Series, but he played the game like a good baseball player. These guys today don't know how to play baseball. All they do is worry about their bank check and the babes and the cars and the houses and whatever. Okay, they don't play the game like they used to. It's terrible.
No, they don't.
The DH into the game was a joke, and you got a guy on Baltimore Orioles, which is my team. He's the only pitcher in the history of baseball to hit a grand slam home run in a World Series game. That record will never be broken because pitchers don't get the bat anymore because they got the DH rule. So that's a record that no one's never going to be able to touch. So that's how stupid they are. Okay. And, it made managers today they're a joke too. They don't know how to manage the game. You had managers back then that knew the game and they knew how to play the game. They understood the rules and everything. And it take a lot of strategy to have a pitcher pitch. And the pitchers used to pitch a complete game, the whole 9 innings. And now the pitchers pitch 1 or 2 innings, and then they put relief pitchers in. That's stupid. So what's on the shelves behind the gym? Picture too small for me to make it out.
I've got wood models mostly.
Let me see. Let me see if I can make Jim bigger.
There you go.
There you
go. Wooden models up there, wooden 3D models.
Yeah. Yeah. They're wood models.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right, Rick. I think so too. I don't know, James. I don't know. Yeah. He started early too. Yeah.
You're probably right about that, Rick. I have no doubt. It's all about the money. The money nowadays, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. That's, it's hard to figure out. And the same teams, win, just like in football.
Mm-hmm.
The same teams all the time. And it's all corrupt because the referees side with the team. Don't tell me they don't have favorites when they go referee a game. That they're lying to you if they tell you otherwise. SMT has 200,000 subscribers.
Yeah, that's Harrison. That's a lot.
Yeah, well, I follow a guy. He has 3 channels. Yes, 3 channels he's working on, and he has 1 million subscribers on all 3 channels.
Wow.
Yeah, he's the guy that I go to find out how to set up your channel. Like I showed you guys on one of my streams how to set up your YouTube in Studio and add the tags and all that information in there, so that when you create a video, it automatically puts those tags on your description file. Okay, and that's how you get your video out to more people. So yeah, I'm a USC fan in college football, and I follow them still. And last game I was at was a homecoming, because I went to USC for a year. And my last homecoming game was back in 1988, in the 1980s, the late 80s, I think it was. I flew out to LA and stayed there for a weekend for homecoming. Even though I didn't graduate from there, but I went there. But I was a young kid when I went there, and I was on a baseball scholarship, and I was on the team. I made the team, and they won the national title that year. And I didn't get a ring because I didn't play an inning. If I would have played one inning in the World Series, any one of the games, just one inning, I would have got a ring. But the Hokie, what is a Hokie? That's Virginia Tech, Bob. My daughter went to Virginia Tech. That's where I got the sweatshirt from. She was down at Virginia Tech. Then she went down there on a scholarship for cheerleading. She didn't make the team, which was very disappointing. And she decided to change schools. And she went to Lock Haven University in Pennsylvania. That's where she met her husband. And Virginia Tech, the year after, in the same dorm, on the same floor that she was on, had that mass shooting where a couple of students got killed and all that business went on. So it was somebody upstairs said, time to leave this place and go to someplace else. I don't know about that, Dave. University of South Carolina. I'll take USC any day of the week. So, but yeah, college football, it's the only problem with college football nowadays is the college football players are getting paid, which I think is wrong. And there's a lot of people that think the same thing as I do. They shouldn't be getting paid. They're already getting paid by getting a full scholarship to the school to go there to play football. So they're getting their scholarship paid for, and then they're getting paid on top of it to play football. And the reasoning is, well, what if he gets hurt in college, then he doesn't have a career in the NFL? Well, that's the breaks. You weren't meant to play football in the NFL if you got injured in college. So I don't believe they should get paid. I think it's wrong because certain schools get more money than other schools. So how is that fair to the other schools? You have a school in the middle of Illinois where there's not a lot of money in a town that has a college there, a university or whatever, and they can't get the funds that a school in Miami or California or different areas, right? So, yeah, that's right. That's what a Hokie is, a turkey. Right. Yeah, it's Blacksburg, Virginia. That's where Virginia Tech is. So it's a nice drive down there. We went down there for a few football games when my daughter was in school and stuff. She goes down. She's still a Hokie fan because she went there, but she graduated from Lock Haven University, which was a lot better because that was closer. I could go there in a couple hours versus I think it was 9 hours to get from here down to Blacksburg, Virginia, or something like that. It was a long ride. Yeah. I mean, so it's stuff like that. So, but that's what's going on here in the world, and well, I've been on here for almost 2 hours. This is a long one for a change. But let's see, Russ, does the turkey do the hokey pokey times?
That'd be something to see.
Yeah, that'd be something to see. Russ, this go on the Virginia Tech website. They might have something on it. So that's what's going on. So, but anyway, guys, I just want to say a Merry Christmas to everybody. Thank you all for stopping in and spending time with me here, and we'll have some more videos coming out with the trains running as soon as I can get them running. And so as long as I don't run into stupid problems, but
Hey, there's Barbara.
There's Barbara. Hey, Barbara,
Hi,
how you
Barbara.
doing? Yeah. So, yeah, and so I'm just going to end the show in a few minutes here, but I'm going to put up the outro video and see that always gives me trouble getting that up there. Every time I say put it up there and it just sits there, I say add the stage, and it puts that one back up there. And we'll stop sharing that one.
There you go.
Now, so you can hear it, but let me remove it and let me add it back in again. So let's see, add video again. This is what I did last week, the same thing. Add the stage. There we go. Yeah, that's right, James. So everybody have a happy Christmas. The trains running around. We'll catch y'all next week on New Year's Eve. And don't forget to watch the Jim show tomorrow at 6 p.m. on Christmas Day.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Enjoy the train ride. And we'll end the stream in about 5 or 6 minutes. Yeah, see that wall there, Jim, that was open?
Yeah.
I closed that so that when I do a video, you won't see the video. Take that space open on both sides of the space. See the space and have a wall on the back side. That's 34th and 42nd week off. I have a wall on the back side. So you won't see that stuff on that wall. But on the front here, when you see the train going by, you're going to see that's all open on the left there. So I have that wall closed off pieces of filament that I put so that way when I run the camera, it'll go. But I haven't run the camera.
Oh, it sure looks good now.
Right. So and I was putting the volume down on my screen. And I haven't run in a while, and I tried to run that cleaning car on the end of the train, and it wouldn't go. So I'm going to try doing it again sometime this weekend. James says Barbara went to Duke Electric. So I can't wait to get the camera on these cars again and run it with a light dimmer.
Oh, I know. It's going to look so much better.
Yeah, it'll look a lot better. But those are just blurs. See, that's not a bright white. You know, it just makes it blur. on the camera. It's not good.
Well, it hides a lot of the details, the bright lights like that. Get your lights
Yeah,
dimmed down, you're going to see much better detail inside your tunnels.
yeah. You'll see. You can see the graffiti, and then the people show up a lot better too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and they're all
It
blue
still
and
looks
flames.
good either way, but
Yeah, I know, but it's funny how it just goes. And that was a long time coming to get that going. Now all I gotta do is get a track clean car that'll work up there, and that way I can run it and keep those tracks clean. I want to see maybe I can make a small car. I don't know if mine will work with the pad close together.
it
Merry
should.
Christmas.
I don't see where it'd be a problem.
Yeah, I don't know. So that's what I want to talk to them about. Can they be closer together? Like we have on the farm.
Right.
So we're gonna have to wait and take them back to talk. Ken, Merry Christmas to you. Have a good night. Thanks for stopping in. Rick, same to you. Merry Christmas. Yeah, I got a new subscriber today. I'm up to 577. But my watch hours are dropping drastically. They just coming to a stop. Yeah, it stopped. Yeah, the other train stopped already. That stopped. That means this video's over. I'm gonna
See,
end
it
the
picked up your
stream.
people too, huh?
No. This station here, the people that were fell off are on the other side.
Oh, okay.
You can't see them from here. And like I said, all the people now. So are my watch hours. Yeah, that's right, James. Mine are going down. Um, it's down to 188 a month now, and I can't get them up. I'm over 1,800 watch hours for the year, but I got to get to 3,000 watch hours, and that's going to take a monument thing to get. So
And
yeah,
I still
so
need
you're good.
600 hours myself.
Yeah,
But
I'm gonna have to figure out how to do it, and I'll do it myself if I could. But I mean, I created some accounts, but then they want your phone number to sign in with, and then they only allow you so many accounts with a phone number. You can't create more than so many accounts. I don't know what the number was, but what I could do is go back to those accounts I created and start watching my live streams that I haven't watched on them yet. But I have
there
to
you go.
figure out, yeah, because those give you an hour, a watch hour, because they're over an hour long, so they should give you a watch hour. Subscribers going up to 1147. Yeah, mine's only 577, so which is
You still got
not
me
bad.
beat.
Yeah, that's not bad, but it's just it takes time, and I'm not worried about it. I'm
Yeah, that's true.
changing my videos, and I got a lot of videos to go back and fix the descriptions in and stuff like that. And because if somebody like I got a couple videos that get repeated views, and well, I have over 4,000 watch hours, James, for my um, lifetime. I've only been on YouTube for 3 years, so I have 40,000. I have 4,000 hours watch out. I have over 4,000. I think it's 5,000 now. I hit 5,000 watch hours. So you got to be careful what you're looking at, because you have to do the last 365 days. That's what you want to look at to see what the actual numbers are, because they do have a yearly view and 365 view and a 6-month view and a 28-day view and all that stuff. When is your live stream on now? Oh, James, yeah. James's live stream is on Mondays, Russ. He does Trackside Monday, and him with Trackside Mike. They do a show on Mondays at 7 o'clock Eastern time. So, yeah, public watch hours. Yeah. So, yeah, that's what you got to look at. So it's interesting to say. All right, guys, I'm going to end the stream. Thanks again. Everybody have a Merry Christmas. We'll catch you all later. See you on New Year's Eve. Take care. Bye.
Bye bye.